My name is Caddy, a young woman who was unfortunate enough to end up in the care of Mrs. Williams, my foster mother, and her two daughters, Emma and Lily. To the outside world, we appear to be a normal family, but behind closed doors, I was subjected to unimaginable cruelty and mistreatment. At that cruise, I was RT. I was just 7 years old when my parents passed away, leaving me in the foster care system. It wasn't long before Mrs. Williams took me in. At first, she seemed kind, promising to give me a loving home. But as time went on, her true nature revealed itself, and the nightmare began. My stepsisters, Emma and Lily, were quick to adopt their mother's behavior, reveling in the power they held over me. They were both older than me, and with every passing day, their torment grew worse. They made me work tirelessly, serving their whims from dawn till dusk. I was their personal maid, cook, and errand girl, with no respite, no escape from the ceaseless demands they placed upon me.
Case a point for Team Mints. One evening, as I struggled to balance a tray of teacups and plates, Emma's shrill voice pierced through the air. "Teddy, hurry up. We don't have all day." The contempt in her voice made my heart sink. But I dared not protest.
Lily, the quieter of the two, watched with a cruel smirk on her face. So make sure you don't break anything, Caddy. We wouldn't want to have to punish you again now, would we?
My shoulders slumped under the weight of their constant cruelty, and tears welled up in my eyes. I longed for a way out, a glimmer of hope to lift me from this pit of despair. Little did I know that fate had a plan in store for me, one that would lead me to the most unexpected encounter and forever change the course of my life. Happily, as the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the burden of my life seemed unbearable. But amidst the darkness, a flicker of light emerged when I least expected it. It was a rainy afternoon when I found myself working at a cozy cafe, seeking solace from the relentless torment at home. The cafe served as a refuge, a place where I could momentarily escape the pressures of my foster family. See, on that particular day, I was wiping down tables when a young man walked through the door, shaking off the raindrops from his jacket. His striking features and confident demeanor caught my attention. Immediately,
our paths crossed when he approached the counter where I stood, a gentle curiosity shining in his eyes. "Hi there," he said, his voice sending a ripple of comfort through me. "I'll have a cappuccino, please."
I couldn't help but smile as I prepared his order. It felt like a small respite from the turmoil that awaited me at home. As I handed him his cup, our eyes met, and there was a brief moment of disconnection that neither of us could ignore.
"Thank you," he said, taking a sip. "You have a beautiful smile."
Blushing, I replied, "Thank you. It's been a tough day, but seeing your smile made it a little better."
And years, he chuckled softly, his eyes filled with genuine concern. "I'm sorry to hear that. If you ever need someone to talk to or a shoulder to lean on, I'm here."
Touched by his offer, I whispered, "I appreciate that more than you know."
We continued to chat whenever he visited the cafe, slowly peeling back the layers of our lives. His name was Alex, and he was a successful entrepreneur with a heart as vast as the ocean. He shared stories of his own struggles, revealing a deep empathy and understanding that seemed almost too good to be true. One evening, as we sat in a secluded corner of the cafe, he looked at me earnestly.
Caddy, I've learned a lot about you these past few weeks, and I can't help but feel a deep connection. Your strength and resilience inspire me. I want to be there for you, to offer you a life free from the pain you endure.
Alex, I never thought someone like you would come into my life. But how can you help me escape from this nightmare?
Ears Gazan softened, and he reached out to take my trembling hand. Caddy, I have resources, I have means to help you, trust me. And together we'll find a way to make things better.
It's in that moment, as the rain poured outside and our hands clasped tightly, I knew that Alex was my beacon of hope, a lifeline that could lead me out of the darkness and into a future filled with love and liberation.
Evening, as the sun began its descent, Alex's voice resonated with determination. Caddy, I've been doing some research. I have contacts who can help us navigate the legal system. We will document the abuse, gather evidence, and ensure that justice is served. No one will be able to hurt you anymore.
It's a mixture of emotions flooded my being. Fear, anticipation, and a newfound determination. I looked into Alex's eyes, filled with gratitude and trust. Thank you, Alex. Your unwavering support means everything to me. I'm ready to fight for my freedom. Ertene turned into nights as we meticulously gathered evidence, documenting every instance of abuse and recording witnesses who could testify to the horrors I endured. X's network of connections became a shield, providing legal advice and ensuring our steps were strategic and foolproof. Acting as we grew closer to executing our plan, a wave of nervous excitement engulfed me. The thought of freedom both exhilarated and terrified me. But with Alex by my side, I knew I had the strength to face whatever lay ahead. And together, we would unveil the rescue that would set me free from the clutches of my tormentors, forever altering the course of my life. First, the day had finally arrived. The plan was in motion, and Alex was prepared to confront my foster mother and put an end to the torment that had consumed my life for far too long. So with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety, we stood outside my house, bracing ourselves for what lay ahead. As we approached the front door, I could hear the echoes of Mrs. Williams' sharp voice reverberating through the house. Fear gripped my heart, but knowing that Alex was by my side gave me the strength to push forward. The door swung open, revealing the chaos within. Mrs. Williams stood in a fit of rage, shouting obscenities at me, but before she could raise her hand to strike, Alex stormed into the house, his voice filled with righteous anger.
That's enough. You will not lay another finger on her.
Mrs. Williams faltered, taken aback by the unexpected intrusion. She glared at Alex, a mix of defiance and fear in her eyes. Who don't think you're eyes? Who do you think you are? This is none of your business.
Alex stepped closer, his voice dripping with determination. It is my business when someone I care about is being subjected to such cruelty. Katie is not your servant. She is a human being deserving of love and respect. Without hesitation, Alex turned to me, his eyes filled with unwavering support. Katie, pack your things, you're leaving with me, we're putting an end to this.
As I hurriedly gathered my belongings, the reality of what was happening sunk in. Alex had come to rescue me, to take me away from the hell I had endured for so long. I could hardly believe that someone could care for me so deeply, someone who saw my worth even when I struggled to see it in myself. Together, we left my former home behind, stepping into the embrace of Alex's waiting car. As the engine roared to life, I glanced back one last time, my heart heavy with a mixture of relief and sorrow. Though a culminant, I was leaving behind a painful chapter, but I knew the scars of the past would linger. As we drove away, I couldn't help but glance at Alex, my savior and newfound love. Gratitude and a sense of security washed over me. In that moment, I knew that my life was forever changed, and the journey toward healing and happiness had just begun. Leaving behind the house of torment felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. With each passing mile, a sense of freedom washed over me. Alex held my hand, his touch grounding me in the present moment, reminding me that I was no longer alone. We arrived at Alex's house, a beautiful sanctuary that exuded warmth and comfort. It was a stark contrast to the cold, loveless environment I had known for so long. As we stepped through the door, a sense of tranquility enveloped me, soothing the wounds that had scarred my soul. Even the weeks that followed, Alex dedicated himself to my healing. He provided a safe space for me to share my pain, encouraging me to confront the emotions that had long been suppressed. Together, we unraveled the layers of trauma, piece by piece. One evening, we sat on the porch, the setting sun casting a warm glow around us. I gazed into the distance, my voice barely a whisper.
Alex, I appreciate everything you've done for me. But sometimes, the memories of the abuse, the scars they left behind, they still haunt me. Will I ever be able to truly heal?
Alex turned toward me, his eyes filled with empathy.
Katie, healing is a journey and it takes time. The wounds inflicted by your foster family may never fully disappear, but they will no longer define you. Are strong, resilient, and deserving of love and happiness. Together, we'll navigate this journey one step at a time. So,
These words resonated deep within me, igniting a flicker of hope. I reached for his hand, intertwining our fingers. Thank you, Alex. Your belief in me gives me the strength to face my darkest days. The tears welled up in my eyes as I nodded, gratitude flooding my heart. Yes, Alex, I'm ready. Together, we'll make sure they face the consequences of their actions. Alex, I want to do something from you. I want to help you find closure, to let go of the past and embrace the future. If you're ready, we can seek justice for what you've endured.
These turned into weeks, and with Alex's unwavering support, I began to rebuild my shattered self-esteem. His love became the balm that soothed the wounds, slowly replacing the fear and doubt with a profound sense of worthiness. One evening, as we shared a quiet dinner, Alex looked at me with a gentle smile. With renewed determination, we embarked on a mission to seek justice. As the legal As this unfolded, I found solace in knowing that my voice was finally being heard. The courtroom became a battleground where the truth would be unveiled for all to see. The weight of my testimony lifted the veil of secrecy that had shrouded my past, empowering others to come forward with their own stories of abuse. It was a cathartic moment, a step towards closure that allowed me to envision a future untainted by their cruelty. With each passing day, the wounds continued to heal, and I discovered strength I never knew I possessed. The love and support of Alex, along with the justice served, propelled me forward on my journey of healing. But the time had come to face my past once more. It was a warm summer day when I decided to revisit the house that held the memories of both bitter pain and resilience. Hand in hand, Alex and I stood before the place that had been my prison for far too long. Alex, I want to buy this house. I want to reclaim it and transform it into a symbol of triumph and new beginnings. Caddy, I'm with you every step of the way. Let's turn this chapter of your life into one of strength and resilience. And so we embarked on a new journey to reclaim a house and create a haven where survivors of abuse could find solace and support, with the proceeds from the sale. And so we embarked on a new journey to reclaim the house and create a haven where survivors of abuse could find solace and support. With the proceeds from the sale, we purchased the house. As time passed, the wounds within me continued to heal, and the memories of my stepmother and stepsisters faded into the distance. A full day as I walked through a bustling market, a familiar face caught my attention. It was Mrs. Williams, accompanied by Emma and Lily. They approached me, their expressions filled with remorse.
Mrs. Williams stuttered, her voice tinged with regret. Caddy, we're so sorry for what we've done to you. We've realized the error of our ways, and we want to make amends.
I stood there, my heart heavy with a mixture of emotions. Without uttering a word, I reached into my bag, pulled out a wad of bills, and dropped them at their feet. But the sound of money hitting the ground resonated through the air. It's a staple in silence. I turned away, leaving them standing there, stunned by my actions. It was my way of showing that money could never buy back the years of torment and the pain they inflicted upon me. For with each step I took, I felt the weight of their presence lift from my shoulders. At tears, I walked away, head held high, surrounded by the love and support that had carried me through the darkest of times. At the Four Seasons, the wounds may have left scars, but I had emerged stronger than ever before. In that moment, I knew that my journey of healing was complete and I was finally free. The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as I sat on the witness stand, ready to share my truth. The path to this moment had been filled with pain and uncertainty, but today, justice would be served. Alex sat by my side, a steady presence that anchored me in this daunting environment.
The prosecutor approached, his voice filled with conviction. Caddy, can you please recount the events leading up to your escape from your foster family?
I took a deep breath, summoning every ounce of courage within me.
Your Honor, Mrs. Williams and my stepsisters, Emma and Lily, subjected me to physical and emotional abuse. They forced me to work long hours, relinquishing all my earnings to them. I was forbidden from leaving the house and endured constant beatings. Their cruelty knew no bounds.
The courtroom fell silent as my words hung in the air. The truth was finally unveiled, no longer hidden behind closed doors. The weight of the room bore down upon me, but the presence of Alex gave me strength.
Only the defense attorney rose, attempting to discredit my testimony. But, Caddy, isn't it true that you were simply an unruly teenager prone to exaggeration and disobedience?
This anger flared within me, but I maintained my composure. No, that is not true. I was a victim, trapped in an abusive household with no means of escape. The scars on my body and the pain etched into my soul are evidence of the torment I endured. The defense attorney's face faltered, realizing the strength behind my words. The jury listened intently, captivated by my story of resilience and survival. Still care or duty, days turned into weeks as the trial unfolded. Witnesses sharing their accounts of the abuse they had witnessed or endured at the hands of Mrs. Williams and my stepsisters. Their testimonies solidified the truth, weaving a web of undeniable evidence against my tormentors. Finally, the day of judgment arrived. The tension in the courtroom was palpable as the jury delivered their verdict. Mrs. Williams and my stepsisters were found guilty of numerous charges, including abuse, exploitation, and neglect. Justice had been served. As the gavel came down, a wave of relief washed over me. Tears of triumph mingled with tears of healing, marking the end of a painful chapter in my life. As they see outside the courtroom, Alex wrapped his arms around me, his voice filled with pride. Caddy, you did it. You confronted your abusers and justice was served. You're free now.
It was set of 2,000 seasons. I looked into his eyes, filled with gratitude. Thank you, Alex. Without your unwavering support, I don't know if I could have faced this journey alone. You've given me the strength to seek justice and find closure.
Together, we walked out of the courthouse, hand in hand, ready to embrace the new chapter of our lives. The legal battle had come to an end, but the healing process was far from over. In the aftermath of the trial, I sought therapy and support groups to navigate the lingering trauma. With time and patience, I learned to let go of the pain that had bound me for so long. The scars of parent may remain, but they no longer defined me. As I embarked on the journey of self-discovery and healing, the weight on my shoulders began to lift. I realized that I had the power to rewrite my story, to create a life filled with love, joy, and purpose. With Alex by my side, we built a life together, a life founded on love, understanding, and resilience. The wounds of the past continued to heal, and the nightmares grew less frequent. I come a long way from the broken girl who once feared her own shadow. Detections, the days blended together as I settled into a life free from the clutches of abuse. The wounds of the past continued to heal, but the echoes of pain lingered in the corners of my mind. To rest to my teens. that is Sitzer-Axen and Kerpravers, and it made there were moments when the weight of the trauma threatened to engulf me once again. One evening, as I sat in the peaceful solitude of our home, memories of the past flooded my thoughts. Tears streamed down my face, the weight of the silence that had engulfed me for so long. Overwhelming me,
He gently wiped away my tears and held me close. Caddy, it's okay to feel the pain. Healing is not linear, and it takes time. I'm here for you always.
I clung to his words, finding solace in his presence. Sometimes, Alex, it feels like the scars will never fade completely. The silence I endured, the isolation, it still haunts me.
B70 Keyforce was filled with empathy as he spoke, and understand, Caddy, the scars may remain, but they are a testament to your strength and resilience. You've overcome so much, and I'm proud of you. Together, we'll face the shadows and find peace.
his words brought comfort, a reminder that I was no longer alone in my journey. With each passing day, the trauma's grip on me loosened, and I began to embrace the triumphs that awaited me. His words brought comfort. They were a reminder that I was no longer alone in my journey. With each passing day, the trauma's grip on me loosened, and I began to embrace the triumphs that awaited me.